Hello, welcome to our podcast.
This is episode 2 of the 13 Reasons Why Season 1 podcast, also known as to Netflix, episode 2, tape 1, side B. Still fantastic names on Netflix's part.
Yep.
And it is still Ryan and Jatin, because the other people have not watched the show yet.
No, but you can totally get them to by giving a like and subscribing to our channel.
And you can force them. I mean, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. So as we said earlier, it's episode 2 time.
Yes.
And Jatin, why don't you start off giving your insight in episode 2? How did you like it?
Right. So episode 2 overall, well, it was an interesting episode. Like, compared to the first one, it was another, like, again, strong beginning. We get to know more about Hannah and her friendship with Jessica. Yeah.
Which is who this tape's about, Jessica. But my views on this episode were, it wasn't as good as the first one. Like, the intro and the rising action of the episode was good. And then it was like, meh. Kind of like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Had up and downs throughout.
Yeah, that is actually really accurate to describe it. A roller coaster.
Yeah. So as I was saying, this episode is about Jessica. And why Jessica is one of the reasons why.
Yep.
So the story between how Hannah and Jessica met was through school counselor, Mr. Porter, who is apparently the blindest teacher ever for reasons in the future.
Yeah.
But he was just like, oh, so you two are new students. Ooh, welcome to our school. Woo! Since you're the two new people this year, and it's the last year, I want you guys to try to be the best friends as possible. Something my school needs. Teachers don't do shit at my school. But that was a good part, and then they just became the best of friends.
Yeah, and they hung out at that coffee shop. What was the name of it?
Monet's.
Monet's.
The infamous Monet's coffee.
Oh, yes.
We were introduced to another character shortly after,
Alex.
named Alex. But how they met Alex was in every teenage boy's way, just staring at girls frequently. It's like, glares over every couple seconds. Is she looking at me? Can't be too quick. Can't stare forever.
Yep. And then those three started to hang out more, and then they did this thing called FML, where they put.
They were known as the FML squad, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then something interesting about Alex at Monet's, he was trying to work his way through everything they had to drink.
Yeah.
Every time he went there, it's like, I'll have the non-fat soy latte with chai tea, whatever. And then the next time, can I just get a mocha? Just like that. Switches up every time, working his way through it, which is an okay thing.
Yep. But I mean, it's a tad bit too much caffeine.
So they went there. The thing was, they went there every day. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing we find out about this episode is Justin has disappeared.
Oh no.
The Justin from the first tape. And this part didn't make any sense. Just because something happened at school doesn't mean you have to run away. And this is referring to Justin after his talk with Mr. Porter. He just disappears. Which, really? I mean, depending on the time of day, I would walk out of school for the day, but come back the next day. Just don't skip. Skipping is bad.
Yeah, and he was at Bryce's.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
But another thing we should mention is this episode featured in real time. Justin and Jessica were dating, which beyond me makes no sense.
Yeah. So, continuing on with this discussion.
I was also thought.
So I noticed, like, throughout not just this episode, but the whole show, like right before memory, Clay is just staring at something. Just staring at something blank. His
At
face.
something or someone.
Something, both. It could be either.
In episode 1, it was the cassette tape, the tape box, Hannah's seat in homeroom.
Yeah.
This episode is still the tapes, because Clay's still confused on why the hell he has them.
Oh yeah. And then we still get reminded. Yeah, Tony's a bit creepy.
Tony's still a creepy motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I respect Tony for that. And then we get introduced to yet another character in this episode. And her name is Shari, whatever the hell you want to pronounce it. We'll be switching up between this episode, I'm pretty sure, so.
Yeah.
But when he doesn't see Justin, when Clay doesn't see Justin, he's like, oh my god, he's missing. I gotta go find him. Clay, you're not the fucking Mystery Incorporated. You're not Fred. You don't need to be looking for people. Just listen to the tapes, like Tony said countless times.
Yeah.
But Clay bumps into Sherry or vice versa, it doesn't matter. They bump into each other. And then it's just, she does not know what to give Clay except some answers, but Clay still gives a stupid question, why me? Why me? I don't belong on here, do I?
Yeah. And then it just gets annoying.
It does throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
But it does hit a high point in a future episode.
Oh yeah.
I believe that's episode 6 or 7. But throughout the episode, Mr. Porter gets cooked on Clay. Gets a little hook about what's happening. So Clay lands on his radar, and Mr. Porter always wants Clay to talk to him if anything's happening, since Clay and Hannah were such good friends.
Yeah.
Don't think having episode 2 as the idea where Porter lands on Clay, it was kind of early. I refer to having another future episode.
Yeah.
That was one of the poor judgments I had on this episode. It kind of was a slow-paced episode, and I think they were trying to fill it in with anything.
Yeah. There wasn't much memorable in this episode.
I can think of one thing that was special in this episode.
Oh yeah.
I think you know what I'm thinking of right now, right?
Right. Go for it.
So at Monet's, after the infamous list pops up, thanks to Alex. And what the list it was just pretty much, it was mainly for the senior, so grade 12s, I believe, would classify as a senior.
Yeah.
Because this is American. But I think it's grade 12s, and they had like the best ass, the worst ass, best personality, all those high school things, like best dressed, worst dressed, most likely to succeed. So it's kind of like the yearbook awards. But since Jessica and Alex were actually dating at this point in time when Hannah was alive, and when they first met each other, I don't know how it happened, but I forget how Jessica and Alex broke up, or whatever happened. one of the things that pushed Jessica over the edge was that Alex was one of the founders of the list and put Hannah as the best ass and Jessica as the worst ass.
Oh. Yeah.
Which was stupid. I mean, I don't care if you don't think your girlfriend has the best ass or the worst. You shouldn't put in other girls just to get revenge on her for something she would do or will do. Or did.
Yeah.
So, this time at Monet's, Alex is not with them. And Jessica brings up the list to Hannah. And they're having a huge fight in a coffee shop. Not the best place for a fight. Whether it's words or physical fight, you shouldn't have it in public, because assault charge can get laid on any of you.
Yeah.
But then, at one time, we just see Jessica slap Hannah right in the face.
Yeah.
And this was just shocking to me. Like, I did not expect that coming. And this kind of was Jessica's take, like how she was on it. Just how a stupid list gets into the friendship. And it's over ass. I mean, don't know what to say.
Oh yeah. And in real time, like a lot of people are, a lot of the people who are on the tapes who have listened to them, they're trying to cover the truth. But like you'll notice that Alex is the only like honest one that believes that like all of this shit happened.
Not really. Ryan does also agree.
Yeah.
No, not me, Ryan.
Yeah.
The Ryan in the show. That's gonna be a fun episode to cover. But it was just Jessica's actions during that scene and the slap.
Yeah.
And then Jessica blamed Alex because of Alex's, quote, douchebaggery. And apparently the reason why I'm just reading it right now, that Jessica and Alex broke up was because of Hannah. Which, jealousy.
Yep.
Total jealousy right there.
Yeah.
And thus, the slap.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez, yeah. And that was such a wow.
Like I said, shocking.
Yeah.
And then more stuff happens. And in the present day, Clay's starting to act suspicious with Zach, Marcus, Bryce, Justin. Even though Justin hasn't been a main episode of this character. Good job. Main character this episode. He's kind of one of those secondary characters.
Yeah.
But it just finds out that he's been hiding in Bryce's mansion in the pool house. And just chilling.
Yep.
By snacking and smoking, drinking all day to avoid the actions of Justin to be on the tape.
Yep. Yeah. So, well, there were some high points on this, but there wasn't really that much, like, going for this episode, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, unless there's anything else to add, do you want to go to the final thoughts?
There's still a bit more, I would think.
Okay. We'll go for a bit more. Yeah.
But then after after Tony hears word about Clay trying to make the trip over to Bryce's, Tony says, don't do this. You're already putting yourself on a huge target by not finishing those damn tapes already. Pretty much just Hannah, Jessica, and Alex's friendship pyramid triangle thing. I guess you can say it's kind of a love triangle, to be honest. Because Alex liked both, and all that fun stuff. Just Hannah started going to Monet's every day, hoping that Alex or Jessica would meet her there again.
Yeah.
But then Clay wants answers, so who does he go to? Jessica. And Jessica is furious because Clay hasn't listened to those damn tapes.
Of course he is.
Just... Okay, and then in the ending scenes, we just see that who's there? Hannah's mom and dad.
Oh, of course.
And in her bedroom, which is kind of normal. But they find the list.
Dun,
Which
dun.
which is just, they're playing it off like it's the biggest thing in the world.
Yep.
But I mean, kind of. But in a way, it was a compliment towards Hannah for having a good ass.
But it's not the best way to compliment.
Just don't write it down on a piece of paper. And don't do what Bryce does in a future episode. That's just wrong.
Oh, please don't. Yeah. Because if you do, I will hunt you down. And your family down.
And we will kill you.
Yeah.
Not really. We'll just be extremely disappointed and ban you from our channel.
Yep.
Can we even do that?
Or just bad from YouTube.
Yep, there we go. And then, without Jessica and Alex at Monet's, Hannah was by herself like she was originally.
Yeah.
And by alone, we don't mean at Monet's, but in her life in general, because apparently Clay's not her friend in this episode, according to this page I'm looking at. But the last place you want to be at alone is at high school, which I can 100% say is true.
Yeah.
Grade 7 year. I'm looking at you. But overall, Jatin, what are your final thoughts on this episode?
Final thoughts? Well, I mean, we get introduced to the list, and then we get introduced to Jessica and Alex
And Sherry.
and Sherry. Yeah, it was an okay episode. Like, definitely not one of the best.
I agree with Jatin there. It's not the best. For me, it might be actually one of the worst, one of the down low episodes. But not, I won't go as far as saying it was the worst. But it would be near the bottom, like bottom 5 for me. Just because of the pace it went at.
Yeah.
And out of 10, Jatin, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give it, let's say a 5.
I will go 4.5 just because I felt like they added some things there early,
Right.
but it wasn't fully there. But another thing we forgot to mention was when Hannah's parents find the list, there's a knock on the door. And who is the knock on the door?
Oh my gosh.
Tony!
Of course.
And Clay is on the other side of the street just looking like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yep.
Just stare, and I guess you can say Clay's staring part was at the baker's house.
Yeah, that guy stares way too much at things.
He does.
Yeah.
You never know. He could be staring at your internal soul.
He's Shia LaBeouf.
So true. But that is our episode 2 recap of 13 Reasons Why. Join us next week for the infamous episode 3, tape 2, side A. who was on the tape, what happened, find out. And remember, it's Mr. Jank, live and on the interwebs.
Yes, and give a like to this video, subscribe, tell
And comment down below, because you never know, we might ask you to be featured in this episode, one of the future podcasts of this wonderful show.
Yeah, you never know.